The story of Japanese creation myth. There are many famous myths in Japan, the most famous of which is the creation myth. The Japanese creation myth is known as the Kojiki, or Records of Ancient Matters, and the Nihon Shoki, or Chronicles of Japan. These texts describe the origins of the Japanese archipelago and the divine beings who shaped the world. According to the myth, in the beginning, there was nothing but chaos, an infinite and formless mixture of elements. From this chaos emerged two deities, Izanagi no Mikoto, the male deity, and Izanami no Mikoto, the female deity. They were given the task of creating and governing the land. Izanagi and Izanami stood on the floating bridge of heaven and used a jeweled spear to stir the waters below. When they lifted the spear, the drops that fell from it created the first island, Onagoro. The couple descended to the island and built a pillar as a symbolic center. They then decided to marry and gave birth to numerous gods and goddesses who became the deities of various natural elements, such as mountains, rivers, and winds. Tragically, when Izanami gave birth to the god of fire, Kagutsuchi, she was severely burned and died. Izanagi was devastated by her death and went to the land of the dead, Yomi, to retrieve her. However, upon seeing Izanami in a decaying state, he fled in fear and sealed the entrance to the underworld. Izanagi purified himself from his contact with death and, during the process, numerous deities were born from the various parts of his body. The most notable was Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun, who emerged from his left eye. Amaterasu became the most important deity in the Shinto pantheon and the ancestor of the Japanese imperial family. Amaterasu's descendants established the first Japanese emperors, claiming divine lineage. The creation myth also includes various tales of the gods and goddesses and their interactions with humans, shaping the cultural and spiritual beliefs of the Japanese people. The Kojiki and Nihon Shoki were compiled in the early 8th century and contain numerous myths and legends that form the basis of Japanese religion and folklore. These myths have been passed down through generations and continue to influence Japanese culture to this day.
Japan is a country with a rich cultural heritage and a long history filled with legends and myths. There are numerous legendary tales that have been passed down through generations in Japanese folklore. Here are a few well-known legends from Japan. 1. The Tale of the Bamboo Cutter. This is a famous Japanese folk story about a bamboo cutter who discovers a tiny girl inside a bamboo stalk. He takes her home and raises her as his daughter. The girl, named Kagaya-han, Princess Kagaya, grows up to be incredibly beautiful and attracts the attention of many suitors. However, she reveals that she is a celestial being and must return to her true home on the moon. Kagaya-han's celestial origins are revealed when, one night, she reveals her true nature and tells her foster parents that she is from the moon and must return there. As the time for her departure approaches, Kagaya-han's suitors become desperate to win her hand in marriage. In an attempt to deter them, she gives them impossible tasks to complete, hoping they will give up. For example, she asks one suitor to bring her the stone bowl used by the Buddha. Despite their efforts, all the suitors fail, unable to fulfill her requests. Eventually, Kagaya-han's true family from the moon comes to take her back. They arrive in a celestial carriage and, despite her foster parents' sorrow, Kagaya-han must leave Earth. Before she departs, she writes farewell letters to her earthly friends and burns them, causing her immortality to be forgotten. 2. The Tale of Haikyaku. Haikyaku is a term derived from Japanese folklore and literature, specifically referring to the night parade of 100 demons, or night procession of 100 demons. In Japanese mythology, it is believed that on certain nights, particularly during the summer months, a procession of various supernatural creatures, ghosts, monsters, and spirits called yokai would occur. This procession, known as the Haikyaku, would take place in the darkness of the night, usually around midnight, and would traverse through the streets and countryside. The yokai that participate in the Haikyaku can vary widely in appearance and nature, ranging from mischievous and playful to terrifying and malevolent. Some well-known yokai that may be part of the procession include creatures like the kitsune, fox spirits, tanuki, raccoon dogs, oni, ogres or demons, kappa, water spirits, and yukiana, snow women, among many others. The concept of the Haikyaku has been popularized in Japanese art, literature, and entertainment, and it has become a recurring theme in various forms of media, including books, paintings, films, anime, and video games. It is often depicted as a spectacle of chaos, with a multitude of colorful and fantastical creatures parading through the night, sometimes accompanied by humans who have been drawn into the procession or have willingly joined it. The Haikyaku represents the rich tradition of Japanese folklore and the fascination with supernatural creatures in Japanese culture. It serves as a reminder of the diverse and imaginative world of yokai that have captured the interest and curiosity of people for centuries.
3. The Story of Amaterasu. Amaterasu, the radiant goddess of the sun, had always been revered in ancient Japan for her power and beauty. She was said to be the daughter of Izanagi and Izanami, the primordial deities who created the world. Amaterasu's brilliance brought light to the heavens and the earth, nurturing all living beings and inspiring awe and wonder. Her rays were like golden threads weaving through the sky, illuminating the world with warmth and vitality. But as time went on, a great darkness began to overshadow the land. A wicked deity named Susanoo, the storm god, grew envious of Amaterasu's prominence and sought to challenge her authority. Susanoo's destructive storms and tempests brought chaos and despair, casting a shadow on the people's lives. Deeply concerned for her subjects and the harmony of the world, Amaterasu retreated to a sacred cave, sealing herself inside. With her absence, darkness descended upon the earth, and crops withered, famine gripped the land, and people lived in fear. Desperate to bring back the light and save their land, the other gods and goddesses devised a plan. They gathered outside the cave, creating a festive atmosphere filled with music, dance, and laughter. The goddess Ain-no-Uzum, known for her wit and charm, took center stage. Ain-no-Uzum began to dance and sing, her joyful spirit resonating through the air. She banged on a sacred barrel, producing a rhythmic beat that drew the attention of all the gods and goddesses. Intrigued by the commotion, Amaterasu grew curious and peeked out of the cave, unable to resist the festivities. As Amaterasu's radiant light spilled out of the cave, the gods quickly seized the opportunity. They placed a mirror in front of the entrance, reflecting her own beauty and brilliance back at her. Entranced by her own image, Amaterasu emerged from the cave, mesmerized by what she saw. With Amaterasu's return, light flooded the world once more. The people rejoiced, and life began to flourish again. The storms receded, and harmony was restored. Amaterasu forgave Susanoo for his past transgressions, and he repented for his actions, vowing to use his powers to protect and nurture the world instead. Amaterasu became the beloved guardian of the heavens, bestowing blessings upon the people and ensuring the cycle of day and night, seasons, and life continued. She became a symbol of purity, divine authority, and the eternal light that resides within every soul. To honor Amaterasu's grace and benevolence, shrines were erected throughout Japan dedicated to her worship. The most famous of these is the Grand Shrine of Ise, a sacred sanctuary that has been rebuilt every 20 years for centuries. For the tale of Tengu. Tengu is a legendary creature from Japanese folklore. It is often depicted as a bird-like creature with a human or humanoid face. Tengu are known for their mischievous and sometimes malevolent nature. They are considered to be supernatural beings with shape-shifting abilities, and they are often associated with mountains and forests. In Japanese mythology, Tengu are believed to possess various powers and skills. They are skilled martial artists, masters of swordsmanship, and experts in magic. They are also known for their ability to control the wind and fly through the air. Tengu are often depicted wearing traditional monk robes and carrying a fan or a long-nosed mask. Tengu are sometimes portrayed as protectors of the Buddhist faith and are associated with mountain ascetics and hermits. However, they are also depicted as tricksters who enjoy playing pranks on humans and causing trouble. They are said to have a particular dislike for arrogant and boastful individuals and often target them with their pranks. The legends and stories surrounding Tengu have been popular in Japanese culture for centuries. They have appeared in various forms of traditional art, literature, and theater. Tengu continue to be a prominent figure in modern Japanese media, including anime, manga, and video games. These are just a few examples of the many legends and folktales that are part of Japan's cultural heritage. These stories have not only entertained generations but also shaped the values and beliefs of the Japanese people.